Welcome back to the Ball Knowers podcast. This is week 4 we're in now.
Hell yeah.
This is Saturday night, the day before all of the games outside of the Cowboys and the Giants. That was on Thursday. What a kind of a dog shit game that was. I didn't watch a second of it.
I don't think I watched a single second of that game.
I did bet money on it and lost, but whatever.
Hell yeah.
I was doing the math. I'm down a lot of money this year.
Yep.
It's not looking too good. But
Hey, what can you do?
yeah, whatever. You can't win them all. But yeah. So the Cowboys are bad.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons is hurt. Demarcus Lawrence is hurt. I don't know if Brandon Cooks is cooked yet, or if they just don't have another good receiver. I don't really know what their problem is.
But he's cooked.
They also have no run game because, well, Zeke is kind of ass, and Rico Dowdle,
Shout out.
he's a guy. But it's like the Giants would have won if they could have just scored a touchdown.
Well, that goes back to Daniel Jones being your quarterback.
Yeah. And the Giants are kind of fucked because Malik Neighbors might be out because he got a concussion.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we gotta, like how they got rid of the 4th preseason game? Maybe we gotta start banning Thursday Night Football.
This has been a discussion for years.
Like,
Because football sucks.
because not only are the matchups bad, they always gave, even before Amazon bought it and like it was on Fox or NBC or wherever it was.
There's always bad games.
It was always like some of the most dog shit games you can imagine. Like
The only time it's good is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and even then it's like I mean,
You get one game usually.
and Thanksgiving's fun now because like the Lions are good, the Cowboys have been good. So it's like you get 2 fun games to watch, and then you get a weird Thursday Night Football game.
Yeah, the night game is always a weird game.
Like Patriots Vikings was on Thanksgiving a couple years ago. I don't know who decided that needed to be in front of the whole world on Thanksgiving.
When is Thanksgiving? Is that like week 13?
Yeah,
The 28th, right? So our Thanksgiving games this year, we have Chicago, Detroit, Giants, Dallas,
Ugh.
and then Miami, Green Bay.
Ugh.
Yeah, we got a disgusting third game on there.
That first game is about the only good one. That second game is
Chicago,
that second game is
Chicago
also
Detroit. We
yeah.
just saw that. We don't want to see that again.
Yeah, we also just saw Giants Cowboys. I don't want to see it again.
Disgusting.
Yeah, they really do us dirty.
You ready to hop into week 4?
Yeah, let's do it.
I was going to separate these games into like tiers, but let's just run through the weeks.
Okay.
So we got a nice split. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 early games, and then 4 afternoon games. That's not bad. 2 Monday games again.
That's a good little split there.
So we got first in the list. We got Denver at the Jets.
That's stinky, let me tell you.
No, there's some stinkers in here.
We're at that point where it's like we kind of know what teams are good and what's like who's bad. But Denver just beat Tampa, and that's a tough one actually. Where's it at?
It's in New York.
Give me the Jets. Let me get Aaron Rodgers. Well, yeah, because
I like the Jets too.
I like the Jets here because I like Garrett Wilson, even though we talked about how last week I don't really understand why people think he's good. But if Pastor Tan is on him all game, Allen Lazard's going to get open. And Allen Lazard scored 2 touchdowns against the Patriots.
And we know that Aaron Rodgers, like you said, loves throwing Alan Lazard.
He also likes Tyler Conklin a lot too now.
He does.
And I don't really know who the Broncos have at linebacker. Or
And Denver got their win.
that's
They
about
can
it.
suck. They can suck for a few weeks now. They got to win.
Yeah, Bo Nix looked good for about 2 quarters. That's all they need.
This next game I think is also stinky, and I don't know how I feel. We have Cincinnati at Carolina, the Andy Dalton revenge game.
I might pick Carolina here.
I was about to say I kind of want to pick Carolina. Is that like me to pick Carolina? But they kind of looked good last week.
They looked really good against.
I mean, the Raiders are also bad.
The Raiders. I work with an old guy who's a big Raiders fan, and he was not happy when I saw him the other day. And this was like Thursday. He was still like seething about it. It's kind of funny, but
Their defense is not good.
the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bengals defense is like actual ass. And
So if Andy Dalton can throw like that against, again,
if he can
I
do
don't
that
think
against
the
like
Bengals-
Max Crosby, you think he can't do it against Trey Hendrickson?
the Patriots beat the Bengals.
Yeah, let's be real here.
Honestly, I'm picking the Panthers.
I'm gonna go Panthers here too.
This is crazy.
The Bengals starting 0-4 is gonna be so funny. How look, hold on, I want to go on a tangent for a second. The Bengals went to a Super Bowl 3 years ago. Okay?
Yeah.
They were, and the year before that, they had the number 1 overall pick. Then they get the 5th pick, and they have Jamar Chase. And they go to a Super Bowl. Then they draft, is it Dax Hill?
That sounds right.
That guy kind of, I think it's Dax Hill. Let me look it up. That dude's kind of ass.
And then they go to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, pick 31, 2022. Yep. So, yeah, then they go to the AFC Championship game. Probably should have won that game, but it doesn't matter.
Lose by a field goal?
Yeah, well, they lost because some defender pushed Patrick Mahomes out of bounds, and it gave the Chiefs.
That's right.
It gave the Chiefs it gave Harrison Butker like a 20-yard field goal to make. But
Fuck the Chiefs.
Fuck the Chiefs. And we'll get into them later. And then the next year, they lose. Oh, also, that year they go to the AFC Championship game. They also kill a man on the field. Don't forget. And then Joe Burrow gets hurt. Now they're kind of ass. They missed the playoffs last year.
They should have fucking cut me.
And this year they have nothing but drama going on. T. Higgins is.
Remember Jake Browning last year?
Yeah, they should have.
You should have fucking cut. You should have fucking cut me. Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
They wrote me off. I just didn't write back.
It's like you got T. Higgins not on contract for another year. Jamar Chase
lost Joe Mixon.
Yeah, you don't have Joe Mixon, so you have Chase Brown.
You lose also. They lost their third receiver. What's his name? They lost Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd's on the Steelers. Yep.
They lost him.
They have no tight end.
Now you're playing like what? What's that guy? Irving something. Who's their other fucking random ass receiver they run out there?
Oh, Andre Ilsevich.
Yeah, they got that guy.
Yeah, he's kind of nasty, but nobody's ready to hear that discussion yet.
No, and their defense is get gutted.
Dude,
the last few years.
That defense is like
They lost Jesse Bates a few years ago.
I remember the talk of the season before the season. Well, Lou Anarumo's got such a good defense. It's like, well, they let Ramondre Stevenson run for 200 on him. It was like one. I mean, the Patriots rushed for like 200 on him.
The Commanders ate them up.
And then Jaden Daniels gets hit in the face, like his whole body just gets thrown into the ground, and he throws a perfect pass over to one of your corners to win the game.
Somehow both the Patriots and the Commanders looked better against the Bengals, but then when the Bengals played the Chiefs, they looked like the best team in football for 95% of that game.
That is also really funny.
Because like when it's so funny because when they lost the Patriots, right? Like, is the sky falling?
Yeah.
And then the whole time during the Chiefs game, you're like, oh, the Bengals are back. They're fine. They're the best team in football.
I watched that. And
this is why they're the Bengals. This is Joe Burrow might be better than Patrick.
And then they should have won that game.
Yes.
They legitimately should have won that game, and
It's so weird because like when the Bengals play their best game,
they're unstoppable.
they are the like I don't think it's close. I think they are the best team in football.
They have the best offense in football when all cylinders are clicking.
I think he's the best quarterback when it's all like pure quarterback.
Yeah, I think he'll be like he's like an Aaron Rodgers type. Like he's gonna be good for forever.
When I was watching that Rams game. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers types, and then I was falling in love with Stafford again. When he was throwing to all those like random people, like man,
Matt,
I'm falling in love all
Matt,
over again with Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford's so funny. Like
I want him to just play forever.
I can see him like being in like he's gonna have to start wearing like a copper fits to put his jerseys on. He probably already has to do that,
Hell yeah.
and he's gonna be out there slinging it with his fake teeth and everything.
Mhm.
Those are those make me uncomfortable.
Matt Stafford's the modern day Brett Favre.
Dude, he actually kind of is.
You see Brett Favre's got Parkinson's?
Yeah.
I saw that, but then I was saw some edits of the Packers, and I was like, man, Brett Favre was legit when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh man,
Brett Favre. I was like, I had to get sentimental. I was like, Brett Favre when I was a kid. It's like watching him play football is just like the epitome of football to me.
I remember
Like that's what a quarterback is. I remember the day his dad died or whatever. It was like Monday Night Football against the Raiders. And I remember like watching that game at my grandparents' house, and I'm like, this is must-watch television.
Yeah, this is like
Him throwing, slinging touchdowns to Donald Driver. I'm like,
he threw like 5 touchdowns that game. It was just a beautiful.
It was storming outside. Oh my god. At least it was where I was in Missouri.
I remember watching him lose to the Giants, and that one was really depressing in the playoffs.
I remember him throwing the pick six against the Saints in the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Oh man.
They're in field goal range too. Oh my god. We could have had a Vikings Colts Super Bowl that year. Brett Favre versus Peyton Manning. That's a beautiful Super Bowl.
We could have had Brett Favre.
And that bastard Drew Brees would have never won one.
We could have had Brett Favre against 07 Tom Brady. And we got Brady and Eli Manning.
Packers Brett Favre, old man Packers Brett Favre against
that was his last game as a Packer too.
That's the Super Bowl we should have got.
Yeah.
That would have been a good ass Super Bowl.
And the Patriots would have
won. And it would have been like a gun. It would have been like the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl in like 2017. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it would have been like a gunslinging Super Bowl.
It would have been 52-48.
Oh my god, we got robbed.
Yeah.
Get a time machine. It's like, are you gonna fix anything important? No, I'm just trying to correct the greatest game of all time.
I need Brett Favre to not throw a pick in overtime. So
I'm trying to get somehow.
I think the Packers were the 1 seed that year too.
Brett Favre, the Packers were a 1 seed a lot of years. I love going back through the playoffs in the early 2000s and see like all the almost seasons of like the Eagles where McNabb is so close so many years. Like Michael Vick got to the NFC Championship game in 2004.
Oh, they were the 2. Who was the?
Or 2003? Could you imagine if it would have been instead of the Eagles Patriots, it would have been the Vic Falcons against the Patriots? That would have been sick.
Ooh, that would have been disgusting.
The Vic in the Super Bowl, that would have been insane.
That would have been.
I feel like Bill Belichick would have been like,
oh, he would have killed me.
He would be like, I just kind of want to let him win. He's Michael Vick, Dude, it'd be kind of special if he won a Super Bowl,
It's so crazy. The 07 Dallas Cowboys with Wade Phillips
were the 1 seed.
Were the 1 seed.
That's the year. Is that the famous year where Romo fumbles the?
I believe so.
And the second, yeah, he fumbles the extra. Yeah, he muffs the extra point. He muffs the hold. Ugh. Also, the Packers lost to the Seahawks. So I think in 2013 it could have been.
They did.
It could have been Broncos Packers. That would have been fun.
The Patriots played Phillip Rivers in the AFC Championship game. Phillip Rivers on a torn ACL. He tore his ACL the week before.
Don't forget the 2 AFC Championship game Mark Sanchez was winning.
Yeah, don't remind me. That was the next year.
I always love the championship teams because it's always like like you said, it's this almost could have been, you know, like Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles was an AFC Championship game.
That Patriots Eagles Super Bowl could have been so funny because we could have had Blake Bortles and Case
Case
Keenum in a Super Bowl, or Blake Bortles and Nick Foles in a Super Bowl.
No, I remember talking about that with my friends at the time when it was like I remember talking to Jordy with the 4 quarterbacks. I'm like, look at this picture. This is hilarious. These are the 4 left: Tom Brady and these 3 fucking ass quarterbacks.
And Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl that year.
No, Nick Foles is the one that won. That's crazy.
And he's arguably the worst of those 4.
Should we get back on track?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I was like, I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole too. We'll say this for the end. We'll do this at the end.
Yeah.
Next we got Houston, Jacksonville.
It's Houston by a mile. Jacksonville sucks.
Yeah, this is
Houston just got throttled, but as CJ Stroud said, I'm glad this happened to us early.
If they start 0-4, does he get fired? One more, come on. How more? When do we start talking about coaches getting fired? After week 5, 6?
I think it's got to be coming soon. If they start 0-4, the talks are going to start coming.
Next, we have the Rams at the Bears. I'm picking the Rams.
Ooh.
I've watched every second of the Bears games and Rams games, and the Bears have no offensive line. I think their coaching's bad, but I also think they have a great defense.
Is it in Chicago?
It's in Chicago. We can split here. We're splitting.
I'll go Bears, but I don't really. The Rams are the better team, but I can see something happening on either side. It's gonna be it's gonna be 18-20, or like 21-17.
No, the thing is, like, I really want it to be like the Caleb Williams coming out game, and like Tre'Davious White kind of sucks, and I really like to see it's like, oh, if this is a game where DJ Moore just cooks Tre'Davious White, and Caleb Williams finally throws some good touchdowns, I'd be okay with that.
True. Tre'Davious White sucking is actually kind of sad.
It really is, actually. He's the old man out there looking sad I remember him. I'm an adult when he came in the league.
Yeah, you got drafted in 2017, but
I feel that Ezekiel Elliott. I was out of high school when you got drafted. You can't be the old running back now.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's like I want to talk about the NBA for a second. It's like watching, like, their NBA, like Bronny James was not alive for 9/11. And he's currently on an NBA roster.
All I'm hearing is like sad songs in my head now. I'm just picturing sad TikTok clips.
Like Braylon Allen on the Jets, he's the youngest player in the league. Was born
20.
He's born in 2004.
We just watched that 17-year-old score a touchdown. He was born in 2007.
I'm gonna kill myself in Minecraft.
2007 is crazy. 2007. If he born in 2007 to be catching a touchdown in the college football is insane.
Braylon Allen was born January 20th, 2004. What's Bronny? He's October 6th, 2004. He doesn't turn 20 for a...
Bronny's born in 2004.
I'm going to kill myself.
In Minecraft.
Yeah. I'm going to build a nether portal and dunk my head in it. But it's like, I remember watching Lonzo Ball get drafted and then looking it up and it's like, that was 2017.
He's our age.
And yeah, I'm like, he's like 6 months older than me.
No, I remember this for me, the 2014 NBA draft, or either 2014 or 2015. The 2015 NBA draft with like Karl Anthony Towns and all them.
Yep.
I remember watching that in the McDonald's or the Buffalo Wild Wings, watching the lobby. And I was like looking it up. I was like, oh wait, Karl Anthony Towns is we were born like in 1996.
Yep.
All these players are my age. And then I'm like sitting there. I'm like, what am I? I'm here eating Buffalo Wild Wings. Not that I'd be in the NBA, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm like, I could have been that, but not really.
Not that, but like doing something.
It's like,
not this.
Yeah, I should have been playing sports, not just talking about sports. You know what I'm saying?
Or at least talking about them in a way that gets me paid, and not.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have started doing this when I was 19.
Dude, I was thinking about that the other day. I had
I like
this.
how we're live talking about this. This is
Yeah,
the best.
this is gonna be in the video too.
This
But
is the best.
I
This
was
is the best.
I was thinking today. Have you seen those? There's this thing going on Twitch called the God Gamer Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So you have to play 10 games, 10 multi. It's essentially 10 multiplayer games, and if you lose one, you have to start over. And I was thinking about this today. I was like, I wish there was somebody that wasn't busy enough to try and do that, because that would be so painful. But
I'll try it.
but
I'm too
everybody
busy.
but everybody has like full-time jobs and kids
Right.
and like it's like nobody can set aside like 3 days to try and do this.
I wish, huh?
And it's like, if I could go
If
back
only.
to like if I could be Jason the Ween right now, 75,000 subscribers on Twitch. That's crazy, brother. That's fucking insane. Makes me want to.
If only.
Yeah.
I want to go buy the cheapest thing at Walmart with only one shell.
Makes me want to start the school year off right.
Sir, can I get your cheapest thing and one shell and cheese, please? Just one. One singular shell and cheese.
Can I buy the toy with the most lead paint on it, please?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to buy.
Can I buy your biggest thing of bleach for cleaning?
I tried to buy the Sonic 3 toys came out, and so
Yeah.
I tried to buy Dr. Eggman at Walmart the other day, and they wouldn't let me because they were on recall.
Damn.
I was at self-checkout, and it like wouldn't scan, and some lady comes up, and she's like, "Was this just on the shelf?" And I was like, "Yep." And she was like, "Let me scan it," and she's like, "Sorry, bud." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, She goes, "They're on recall." And she just took it away. And I was like, okay,
Should have
cool.
took that shit. You should, when it didn't scan, you should have took that shit with you.
I really thought about it. But I was like,
You should done.
whatever. Not that big of a deal.
This might be game of the week.
Yeah.
I think it might be, yeah. Minnesota
At the
on the
Packers?
road against at the Packers.
The Jordan Love comeback game.
I'm picking Green Bay because I think Minnesota's got to come down at some point. And I think this is a good time for it.
I think it's.
But I think I want to pick Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Aaron Jones revenge game.
That's another. I mean, that's another aspect of it. Minnesota's defense is just absolutely disgusting.
Those Green Bay's defense is nasty.
And so it's like.
I'm picking the Vikings.
I'll go Vikings. Oh fuck it, I'll go Packers. I'll split it. Fuck it. Jordan Love on an MCL sprain is gonna throw for 1,000 yards.
You imagine?
No, that'd be funny, but that's not gonna happen. I have him in a parlay going under 242.
Now this is a game that could be good or could be dog shit. Saints at the Cardinals.
Oh,
Or Saints at the Falcons. My bad.
Oh, I was gonna say Saints Cardinals. That's a 42-41 game right there.
Saints at the Falcons. But once again, could be a good game. Could be ass. I'm picking the Saints.
I kind of want to go Falcons, but I just because they've played. I mean, they did that. They had that crazy
You know what?
drive against the Eagles.
I can't pick three. It's at Atlanta. I'm picking the Falcons.
Like they had that crazy comeback drive against the Eagles. They should have beat Kansas City, but just like the Chiefs in Cincinnati, a call was not called.
It's kind of a crazy important game too. Division game.
It is a
week
very
4.
important game.
They're both Falcons 1-2, Saints 2-1. You can't really. You don't want to lose 2 games behind.
Yeah, I mean if the Falcons
You're 1-3.
win,
You can't really come back. That's kind of a bad start.
Yeah, that's hard to come back from. And it's like if Tampa wins their 3-1, and then if Carolina wins their 2-2, so whoever loses this game's in last place essentially.
If Atlanta loses, is that early Michael Penis Jr. sightings?
I don't know. They just paid Kirk Cousins so much money. I just can't imagine.
How bad do they have to be? Like 1-8 for you to see the penis?
I don't know if we see him this year. because they just have so much money wrapped up. Well, I mean, I guess
Unless they're good. Unless they're good. If they're missing the playoffs, I think we.
I think we could see in the last couple of weeks if it's
If they're
like
if they yeah, if they're out of playoff or if they're like not making the
if
playoffs
it's
and it's like week 17, week
yeah
18,
I
we're
think
seeing Penix.
I think yeah, if it's like after Christmas, like the week of Christmas or like around that time frame, and they're done,
I kind of want that to happen, honestly.
I kind of like it too.
I
I hope
kind of like the ass time of the year when you start seeing all the backup quarterbacks come out.
those are
They keep people from getting their contract bonuses. We'll start seeing like Sam, what's his name?
Sam Howell.
So Sam Howell on the Seahawks. If the Seahawks start being ass, they'll be like, Gino, get on the bench, bro.
It's like my favorite time of the year because it's like we get
Do
to see
lock for the Giants.
we get to see like Carson Wentz versus like Nick Mullins.
What was that? Carson Wentz, Sam Darnold last year. Great game.
Yeah, that's the battle of
Dream.
the battle of the like a 2 and 3 picks. Like that's hilarious.
Listen, Jacksonville might start 0-4. We're on road to see Mac Jones this year.
Matt, mark my words. October 20th, the Patriots and Jaguars in London. Trevor Lawrence might not be a Jaguar at that point. Mac Jones will be starting. I don't know about that. I bet it'd be really well. They just gave him so much money, but it'd be really funny if Mac Jones plays in that game.
That'd be crazy. Who you got? Falcons or Saints?
Give me Falcons.
I like that. Eagles at the Bucks.
Give me the Bucks.
Quick and easy. I'm taking the Eagles.
The Eagles are down. Like AJ Brown's not playing. I don't know if Devonta Smith is playing because he has a concussion. They just elevated John Ross, who retired from football 9 months ago, and then
You swayed me.
and somebody else. It's like they're down bad. I mean, they did like pretty not handedly beat the Saints, but they really had to work for it, and they did it.
I don't think this. I don't even want to watch this game. Steelers at the Colts.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I think the Steelers will probably win.
Actually,
but
I have a friend going to this game, which is really strange.
it's wild.
Um,
Actually, you know what? I'm picking the Colts. It's at home. I don't like the Steelers. Let's go Colts.
I'll go Colts. Fuck it.
Commanders at the Card.
This is our team.
If we go Colts, I'm gonna.
bleed
We
blue.
bleed blue. These are our Colts. We love you.
For the shoe.
I love the anthems.
Beat the Steelers.
This game could be, once again, this game could be dog shit or this game could be really fun. The Commanders at the Cardinals.
Oh, this is gonna be a blast, actually.
This could be a game where, like, I feel like if the Commanders want to play like hard defense for some, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like the first time they play like actually good defense.
But
Same thing with the
I
Cardinals.
really want like a Kyler Murray, Jaden Daniels
Shootout.
duel, a college football game.
I want to see a 62-50 game. Like,
At home though, you know what? I kind of want to pick. Oh, I'm gonna pick the Cardinals.
I'll go Cardinals. I think Marvin Harrison's just so fucking good, dude.
For real.
Jaden Daniels is also like, I mean, he's pretty fucking nasty.
And Kyler actually looks fun.
Kyler's
COD's. I told you until COD comes out, he's gonna be exciting.
We got a month.
You got another month until COD, and then he'll be shit until like after Christmas, and he'll start playing again at the end of the year. We got New England at the 49ers. I'm picking the Niners.
Oh yeah, this isn't a question here. The Patriots have they're starting their 4th different left tackle of the year.
Is it Brissett or May?
Brissett's still starting.
Ugh.
And Nick Bosa will have like 8 sacks because he's racist, and Jacoby Brissett's a black quarterback.
Yes, he's like, I can't wait to tear this motherfucker up.
You see those AI edits, Nick Bosa, and he was like, I've been waiting for week 4
Yeah.
to hit Jacoby Brissett so hard because he's black. It's fucking crazy. But, I mean, the Niners are banged up too, so, I mean, it could be kind of funny to see, like, the Patriots rush for 200 on them, but I just don't think it'll happen.
This might be the grossest game of the week.
Is it Sunday Night Football?
No.
Oh, it's...
Browns at the Raiders.
Ooh. That's a big doom for me.
I think I'm picking the.
I'll go Browns because
Yep.
Max Crosby's banged up. So is Miles Garrett.
I'll pick the Browns.
Max Crosby's banged up. Miles Garrett has broken feet. He's still playing.
If the Browns lose this game and Deshaun's not injured, do they have to bench him
Yes.
and put in famous Jameis?
I think they owe us all a favor by putting in the greatest.
I really fucking hope we see Jameis Winston, and I don't only hope that we see Jameis Winston. I hope he comes in, and I hope he wins a game, and I hope he's like actually good in that first game, and then we get the season of Jameis. And I hope it's bad, but I hope it's like the 50-50. You know what I mean?
I hope it's the Jameis 33 touchdowns, 30 picks.
No, I hope he comes in like he did. Remember that time he came in like with the Saints and he threw 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions?
Yeah, it's beautiful. He's beautiful.
That's what I want. I want to see him come in and throw like a bomb to Mari Cooper, immediately throw a pick 6. Come back, throw a bomb to Jerry Jeudy, and then immediately like fumble the ball. And now I'm like, this is it. We're back, baby. This is Jameis.
My favorite Jameis Winston play ever is it's against the Bucks, and he runs at Devin White, right? And he runs at Devin White, and he does this with the football, like he's gonna toss it to him, and Devin White just jumps at him, and Jameis just straight past him. It's the most beautiful play I've ever seen. Only Devin White could get juked out by a fucking. Oh, it's beautiful.
Our last afternoon game, Kansas City at the Chargers. But is he not playing, Herbert?
I read that he, unless something bad happens, something drastic happens, he's playing.
Honestly, if Herbert's playing, I'm picking the Chargers. I think it's week 4. It's early season. This is Kansas City's gonna lose. I don't think they're gonna go undefeated. This is the game they lose, and I don't think it means anything. You know what I mean? I think this is a game that if you're Harbaugh, you've been circling this game all season, all off season.
This is kind of what they've been preparing for. This is the Chargers Super Bowl.
No, something like this is a game where the Chargers win this game. They might not make the playoffs, but this is the game. They need this game.
Where we all think about how they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I said Harbaugh's been talking about this game since he took the job.
He saw week 4 on that schedule and he said, "Yep,
we gotta beat the Chiefs. That's the fucking goal. That's the enemy." I'm picking the Chargers.
I also think the Chargers could run on them too because the Chiefs run defense.
You picking the Chargers?
I'll go Chargers.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck it.
Sunday Night Football.
It's bad, isn't it? Oh, no,
honestly, I think it's a good game. Now, the first Monday night game is an awful game, but this is Buffalo at Baltimore. This is a great game. Supremacy. This is a good Buffalo. Are they for real? Baltimore kind of needs this game, low key.
Baltimore has to win here to not be shit. If they're 1-3, they're fucked.
But also, they might not be because
that's also
the
true.
Browns, the Raiders could easily beat the Browns, and then Carolina could beat Cincinnati, and then if Indianapolis beats Pittsburgh,
That's true. They're only a game.
A division they're only lucky because the division's ass this year.
Well, the AFC North is the best division of football. Never forget.
That's crazy. Honestly, I think Buffalo. They're at home. I think Baltimore wins this game.
I think Buffalo wins. Josh Allen is fucking unstoppable.
I do love Josh Allen.
I mean, he's out there throwing.
Bills.
He's out there throwing to nobodies, and it's a beautiful. I thought they were gonna fall off this year. I had them missing the playoffs, but I think Josh Allen might be the best player in football.
Is he the modern day Brett Favre? Actually,
he's
not quite there yet.
I still like the white Cam Newton comparison.
I'm back.
Yeah, never forget.
Did you see the thing where he said if Eli gets a Hall of Fame jacket, he should get 2?
Yeah, I mean he kind of should. Eli should not be in there. We can talk about that later, but I don't know if Eli should be in there. He'll get in there.
I love Cam Newton, but then I'm also
sometimes
I feel like he had one good year.
He really did.
I'm thinking about the year after when they were 7-9.
Yeah.
What happened?
And then they got Christian McCaffrey, and then they made the playoffs, lost in the first round, and then he was never heard from again.
I'm back.
Him replacing Tom Brady is one of the funniest things to ever happen to the Patriots.
I think that is the best thing to ever happen though in football.
Cam Newton in a Patriots uniform went pretty hard though. I fucking loved that year. That
Were
was
they
fun.
made? Did you guys make the playoffs?
No, it was the first time they missed the playoffs in like 15 years.
Mac Jones rookie year made the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was your record with Cam?
They were 7-9.
That's amazing.
They
I
were.
love Cam Newton.
So they here's some theories. So week 2 Sunday Night Football against Seattle. Time is expiring and they're at the goal line and they you remember last year Jalen Milroe, it was like Nick Saban's last play call, which Jalen Milroe like quarterback draw that got 2 yards instead of the 7 they needed.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same call. But Cam Newton jumped over an offensive lineman and did not get near the end zone. Time expired. Game over. If they would have won that game, that's a win. And then I think it's the next week or the week after, Cam got COVID, and they played the Chiefs, and Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer almost beat the Chiefs. So if Cam Newton played in that game, they probably would have won.
That's 9-7. That's playoffs.
And there's a chance they could have made the playoffs. But it's fine because they got Mac Jones, the second coming of Christ. So
Another contender for worst game of the week.
this game actually I think is ass.
Will Levis versus Skylar Thompson, right?
No, it's Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley?
Yeah, Mike McDaniels announced that today.
Will Levis versus Tyler Huntley, Tennessee at Miami.
This is
I think my Tennessee wins.
I think Tennessee finally gets a W.
That's an awful game.
I hope Will Levis blesses us with another funny picture. Because he is a contender for funniest player in the league this year.
Will Levis sucks again. Do you then sign Ryan Tannehill back?
I think the Dolphins might have to do that.
Well, someone's going to have to. Or is he just that bad?
Well, Will Levis is ass. I don't know. Oh, his backup's Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is just about as bad.
Please don't let that man see the field.
I would love to. I hate Mason Rudolph, but I wish
When do they play the Browns? We talked about this.
I was gonna say, if the Titans play the Browns, I need Mason Rudolph to be a team captain and a starter that day. I need Myles Garrett to take that helmet off of him again.
Damn, they don't play the Titans this year.
Fuck.
I know, I was really excited.
Yeah, this has like Titans, I think, kind of all over it. The Tyler Huntley could make it a game. I mean, it's not going to be a blowout. Like both of these teams are ass. Maybe they should go talk to Tua.
Talk to son of a bitch.
Maybe they should go talk Tua and
Honestly, a contender for game of the week though. Seattle at Detroit.
Detroit coming off a loss.
I like Detroit in this one. Like you said, coming off a loss.
I like Detroit in this one too. Dan Campbell is kind of the GOAT. He makes some stupid, boneheaded decisions, but
And the Seahawks looking good this year too.
the Seahawks.
Have they played anybody? I feel like they've played a bunch of bad teams too.
Yeah. I mean, they beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots in overtime though. So.
They beat Denver, the Patriots in overtime, and they beat Miami. So yeah, they're kind of a fraud 0-3-0.
Yeah, they're gonna be 3-1. Sorry.
But then it's like they're gonna play the Giants next week, so they're gonna be like 4-1, and then they play the Niners, so that's I guess 4-2. And at the Falcons, that could be 5.
I'm gonna be real. I kind of think the Giants might have figured something out. They might They might be able to string some wins together. I don't know.
Let's look at the Giants' schedule though.
Like
at Seattle next week.
At Seattle, okay, that's a loss.
Home against Cincinnati.
That's a win.
Home against the Eagles.
Ooh, that's an L.
At Pittsburgh. That's probably an L.
That's probably an L.
Home against the Commanders. That could be a win.
That's a 50-50.
At Carolina. That could be a win.
Yeah.
Home against Tampa Bay. win.
That's a 50-50 too.
And then at Dallas, probably a loss.
Yeah.
Home against New Orleans.
That's
Home against the Ravens, probably a loss.
that Saints game they can win, but
At Atlanta.
Okay, I was wrong.
Home against the Colts.
Yeah, I was wrong.
At the Eagles.
Yeah, I was wrong.
He's like, fuck, goddamn it.
The Giants just they don't look bad though.
You got mock drafts out already? What's the number 1 pick in the mock draft?
Probably Quinn Ewers. Who's the
Carson Beck right now.
Well, after what I just saw, he shouldn't be.
This one guy doesn't have Quinn Ewers until 17 to the Browns.
That's crazy.
And this guy has Quinn Ewers 7th to the Raiders. That's the CBS mock drafts, though. Shador Sanders to the Saints. This guy's got Shador Sanders to the Seahawks. I'm buzzed on my new AP. Perfect time, man.
You think Dion would approve of New Orleans or Seattle?
Did he not? Did he send out his list? What was on his list?
I don't think he put out a list. I think he just said that there are teams that he would not want his son to play for. Teams. Deion Sanders doesn't want son to play for. Oh,
For the New York Post, Sanders has 6 NFL teams he wanted to play for. Those teams were the 49ers, the Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Falcons.
And the Eagles. That's crazy.
That's wild.
All of those teams kind of... Actually, the Commanders and Falcons don't really make any sense to me. The rest of them kind of do.
Well, it's like they make sense for Travis Hunter.
Yeah, any of these can make sense for Travis Hunter, but not any of these really make sense. Like, the Niners don't need a quarterback. The
Cowboys, I guess, would have made sense if they didn't pay... what's his name?
Dak?
Yeah.
Dakota Ray Prescott?
Shout out Mississippi State Dak. Shut up, Banks.
Do you think if the Eagles could go back in time to 2016, they would draft Dak over Carson Wentz?
You know, I used to talk about the 2016 draft all the time because I think that's the one where the Cowboys draft L, right?
Yeah, they drafted Zeke.
And then Jordan Howard got drafted by the Bears in that draft in like the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Jalen Ramsey draft too?
Yeah,
Joey Bosa. It's Goff, Wentz, Bosa, Zeke, Ramsey, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ronnie Stanley and DeForest Buckner.
No, I always thought of a world where, like, that first couple years, I was like, man, what if the Rams would have drafted Dak Prescott number 1 overall? I feel like they would have won a Super Bowl with McVay.
Oh, but yeah, probably.
McVay would have unlocked Dak like crazy. I always told my friend, I was like, what if the Cowboys would have just drafted Jalen Ramsey with the 4th pick and then drafted, like, Jordan Howard in, like, the 3rd round? Or the 4th round, and then you would have had, like, the same team. But with Jalen Ramsey.
What's crazy is I remember reading about how Jerry Jones... They had to talk Jerry Jones out of drafting Paxton Lynch and instead drafting Zeke.
You're Paxton Lynch? Remember that guy?
Yeah. He was ass.
Fucking shout out Denver, huh?
Where did he go to...
Went to Memphis.
Yeah.
He was supposed to start, and that's how he got blessed with fucking Trevor Siemian, dumbass. Because Paxton Lynch was so garbage.
I think the Broncos' downfall kind of.
And then remember they signed Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco was ass in the Broncos before he came back this year, and everyone acted like he was good. And they're like, "Why Joe Flacco? Joe Flacco? Where's Joe Flacco been?" I'm like, he's been around. He's just been ass since the Super Bowl.
Dude, the Broncos since Peyton Manning
Had Case Keenum.
That is like they had that next year. They started Trevor Siemian because they lost Brock Osweiler, and then it's like. Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch.
You sign Joe Flacco. You sign
Flacco, Keenum.
Case Keenum. They signed them for big money.
Mm-hmm.
Draft Drew Lock.
Mm-hmm. Like, they made some fucking stupid decisions.
Then you trade 2 first-round picks, Andrew Lock and Noah Fant to go get Russell.
Broncos QB since... Oh, yeah, and then the Russell Wilson thing is a whole other...
Then you draft Bo Nix with your first pick after the Russell Wilson disaster.
Okay, so this is since Peyton Manning has been gone. They've had Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum, Flacco, Brandon Allen, Jeff Driscoll, Brett Ripien, Drew Lock, Kendall Hinton, never forget.
Is it the quarterback?
He was the wide receiver that had to play quarterback that one
The
game.
COVID relief thing?
Dude, they had Teddy Bridgewater.
I forgot about Teddy Two Gloves.
I've completely forgot. Russell Wilson, and then Stidham.
Now they got Zach Wilson on the bench too, right?
They got Zach Wilson.
He's third string.
Who's ahead of him?
Jarrett Stidham.
No, they cut Stidham.
Or who's the guy? It was Stidham, right? Did they have Stidham this year?
Well, they cut Stidham because they named Bo Nix the starter, and then Jarrett Stidham openly complained.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, Zach Wilson was third string because they announced it was like, when they announced it was Nix, Stidham, Wilson, and Wilson's like, fine. And then Jarrett Stidham was like, bitching. I knew that. I was like, that's funny. Zach Wilson got third string out of those 3.
And it's funny because Zach Wilson last year
Was the starting quarterback for the Jets.
Well, what's funny is Zach Wilson, like 2 years ago, they lost to the Patriots, and it's because they were bad. Like, he was just bad. And after the game, he was like, they were like, do you think you let the defense down? And he goes, nah, absolutely not. And then this year, Bo Nix gets named to the starter, and Zach Wilson goes, yeah, dude, he works hard. He's earned it, man. Like, he deserves it.
No, remember that when he did that in New York and the defense, they had to do the meeting where the defense turned against him?
And then Mike White started, and all the defense wore Mike White t-shirts to...
Yeah, I remember
games.
everyone, and then they didn't win that game?
Yeah.
Oh, what a time. Mike White then went to the Dolphins, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Mike White. Not Mike White that wrote School of Rock. Different Mike White.
Is Mike White... Oh, he's on the Bills this year?
Is he third string to Trubisky?
He's on the practice squad, so...
Shout out Mitch Trubisky getting paid still.
Damn.
I love Mitch.
I also love Big Dick Mitch.
The original MVP. Never forget.
Shout out Mentor High School in Oklahoma, where Mitch Trubisky went to high school.
I'm so sorry. Why are we calling him Mitch? We're being so insensitive.
Yeah, his name's Mitchell. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, only his mom calls him Mitch. He said that. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. My bad, Mitchell.
Him being a Steeler was really funny because they did the same thing.
Starting?
They did the same thing to him that the Falcons did to Kirk, where it's like, we're going to draft you, and then we're not going to tell you our plan is to draft a quarterback.
Remember drafting Kenny Pickett as their plan? That's already over.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That is also really funny. Also, can we... this is something that's been on my mind
That
all
was
week.
3 years ago.
Yeah, that was 3 seasons ago. I've been thinking about how all the talking heads talk about how, like, Mike Tomlin's a good coach, John Harbaugh's a good coach, Mike McCarthy's a good coach, because they've all been to Super Bowls. When was the last time any of them, like, really truly, like, won, like, a good playoff game, or, like, were in a meaningful... Like, Mike Tomlin played in an AFC Championship game, like, 7 seasons ago, and since then, his teams have all pretty much just been 500, right above 500. They've been pretty mid. John Harbaugh hasn't... He's been to, like, one, I think, AFC Championship game, maybe 2, since he won a Super Bowl 10 years ago. Mike McCarthy hasn't won a playoff game in, like, probably a decade at this point.
He hasn't been... That's why Aaron Rodgers got rid of him.
Yeah, Aaron, like he couldn't coach Aaron Rodgers. What makes you think he couldn't? I'm gonna look this up. When did?
Oh, you got me on a different tangent now. We're talking about quarterback buzz, like going through the Broncos quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
What year should we go back to? Let's just do. It's 2024. Let's do the 2014 season.
Okay.
Let's try to figure out the first round success rate for quarterbacks.
Oh, this is probably gonna be bad. Oh, in 2014.
Just go. We're gonna do the last 10 years, and we're gonna name every quarterback that's draft. We're gonna go through every quarterback's draft first
Okay.
round and see them in bust or not.
Okay.
Make a list. So
Uh,
2014, we got Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles.
We'll just get him down. We'll get once we get them all down, then we'll talk about bust. We got Blake Bortles in 2014.
Blake Bortles, Teddy Bridgewater, Johnny Football.
Johnny Manziel.
2015 is Mariota and Winston.
Mariota, or you said who else is?
Marcus and Jameis.
Oh, Bridgewater was first round, huh?
Yeah, he's like the third. I think he's the last pick. And then 16 is Goff, Wentz, and Paxton Lynch. '17 is Trubisky, Mahomes, and Watson. '18's a big one.
Hold on. Golf. Trubisky, Mahomes, Watson, Golf, Wentz, Lynch. Is it just Winston and Mariota? No third one in 2015.
Yeah, there's no third one.
And what's 18? Or what's the it's 18.
18's Baker, Darnold, Rosen, Josh Allen, and Lamar.
$19.
It's Kyler, Daniel Jones, and Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah.
R.I.P. And then
Burrow?
20's Burrow, Tua, Herbert, and Jordan Love.
Shout out Jordan Love, huh?
Yeah. The GOAT.
And 2021, is that just pick? Oh, no.
No, 2021 is Trevor.
This is Trevor.
Zach
Wilson.
Wilson, Trey Lance, and then Fields.
Justin Fields and
Mac McCorkle-Jones.
And then just Pickett?
22 is just Pickett.
And then Love, Stroud.
Yeah, Stroud and Young. Oh, and Anthony Richardson.
Stroud, Young, and Richardson. And we won't do this year.
Yeah.
Honestly, we won't even do Young, Stroud, and Richardson.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay, let's just start. Pickett, obvious bust.
Pickett's a bust.
Mac Jones,
Bust.
for the Patriots, a bust.
Right now, he's a bust.
Honestly, for the team that drafted him, Fields bust because he's a bust for the Bears.
Trey
Lance bust. Zach Wilson bust. Honestly, Trevor, he's not a bust.
He's in the middle.
He's not a great, but at least you have a starting quarterback. You've had a starting quarterback for the last X amount of years, and I don't think it's been Lawrence's fault. They've been bad.
Not necessarily, no.
That's a hit. Jordan Love is an obvious hit. Herbert's a hit.
I think Tua's a hit, too.
Tua's a hit. Burrow's a hit. Dwayne Haskins, R.I.P.
Yeah, he's a bust. Sorry.
But a bust. Daniel Jones.
Bust.
Well, bust.
That dude's ass.
Kyler's a hit.
Kyler's a hit.
Lamar a hit.
Lamar Allen a hit.
Josh Allen a hit. Rosen obvious bust. Darnold's a bust for the Jets, but a hit overall. We'll say a hit. It's a bust. We'll say bust. It's a both.
Yeah, he's in the middle.
Paxton Lynch hit or bust. I mean.
What about Baker?
Baker is a.
I think Baker's a hit.
What's weird, right? I think you're right. Hit. Just be a good quarterback. Hit.
Like he's never been that bad.
What do you say about Carson Wentz? Because he played 6 years.
He also should have
won MVP and he should have been a starting quarterback. They would have won. You know what I mean? Like
he
got hurt.
He's the first guy we've named that has a Super Bowl ring.
That's crazy.
So
Wentz is weird. I don't want to say he's a bust because I think he did play games.
I think he's a 50-50. He's in that middle area.
Goff's a hit.
Goff's a hit.
Watson is still a hit because he was good, but he's still 50-50.
Yeah.
Mahomes is an obvious hit.
He's the biggest bust of them all. Just kidding.
Trubisky's a bust.
Trubisky sucks.
Mariota won a playoff game.
Yeah, he's still a bust though. That man is still he's hopping around the league. He's the backup on the Commanders.
Jameis Winston's a bust.
No, he's not.
Bro, if Mariota's a bust, Jameis Winston's a bust.
Jameis Winston is the GOAT, dude.
Manziel's a bust. Bridgewater is a
Bust. Well,
bust, and
Bridgewater
well,
might.
at least for the Vikings. And Bridgewater never was a. I don't think Bridgewater was ever an above average quarterback in the NFL.
That's also true.
Blake Bortles, I would say, is also a bust.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, what is that? One, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
That's not a
10, 11,
good.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28. Out of 29 quarterbacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits, 2 50-50s. So,
Mm.
so 15, it's about, so 15 out of 29 bust. So it's a little bit 50-50. And really the back half has been good. I feel like if we keep going back further, it was really awful.
Yeah, like 2013, like EJ Manuel's a bust, and it's like
I feel like people have got better. We've definitely got better at finding quarterbacks.
yeah, I agree. This is something my dad and I were talking about. I was actually had this, not this exact conversation with my dad, but there, you know how like Ohio State can produce wide receivers, and
Isn't it crazy the last 5 are busts though?
that is pretty crazy.
Keep going. Ohio State produces a
So
receiver.
it's
I'm
like,
sorry.
and like Iowa produces tight ends, and it's
Yeah.
it's like like Alabama's good at receivers and running backs. There's not a school that produces quarterbacks.
Listen, for a minute it was Oklahoma.
But
I was gonna joke like Lincoln Riley.
me and my dad talked about this for like 30 minutes, and we found like 4 schools, I think, with multiple quarterbacks to win Super Bowls, and that's is going as far back as like the 70s.
Super Bowls is crazy though because I think Super Bowl like I agree with you. Super Bowls is crazy because Super Bowls is dominated by such a select few quarterbacks though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like, I mean, you're narrowing it. We're narrowing it down.
Because now we're like
very,
Michigan's
very,
won like 7, right?
but
And then it's like now Texas Tech is a Super Bowl
like,
school.
But it's like Michigan has one quarterback that's won a Super Bowl. Alabama has, I think, like 3, and like BYU has 2.
Stanford has 2.
Stanford has who's the
2.
other one? Who's the other one?
It's Elway, and then I think like one of the Raiders, like Ken Stabler maybe, or one of the 2, something like that.
Okay, I'll
I
well,
might be making
but it's
something
like
up here.
Alabama has, I think, 3, 2 or 3. It's like they're kind of like they're not like
UCLA's got 1.
yeah, and it's like you take like Michigan
Georgia's
State.
got 1 now.
Michigan State has 1. Georgia has 1. Tennessee has 1. Ole Miss has 1.
No, you would think like man like LSU or Alabama would have a bunch or like. No, I know what you're saying. You think like it's a thing with like it's crazy when you go back and like usually the best pro quarterbacks were not the best college quarterbacks.
No, and that's normally how it works. I mean, it's
kind of changing. Like even like Mahomes, not Mahomes college.
no, Mahomes is like, I mean, Mahomes was good in college. There's a reason he was a first round pick, but like
They're on bad teams.
he benefited from having. I mean, it's like you look at this like
Drew Brees at Purdue.
Like Mac Jones was like second in Heisman votes 1 year, and his wide receiver won the Heisman. Okay, and he won a national title. And now I don't think Mac Jones is bad by any means, but he's not the best quarterback in the world.
We had a lot of game managing quarterbacks in college football win titles.
And so it's like
Alabama, like Greg McElroy winning titles.
Yeah, that is why AJ McCarron won 2 titles. Like, it's very weird, but it's like you look at it and it's like Mac Jones was throwing to Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, had Damian Harris and Najee Harris, and also had like who's the third one? There's another. Oh, he had like Jameson Williams. It's like none of Mahomes's anybody on that team really is in the NFL.
Yeah.
And so it's just very different.
I think though the closest thing to a quarterback university would, I guess, be Lincoln Riley.
Recently, it's been Lincoln Riley. I mean,
And just because of what he had Baker,
Baker, Kyler,
Tyler. I mean, if you want to
J-
count Jalen Hurts for a season,
yeah,
and then
and
Caleb
now,
Williams.
yeah, that's four.
If
Like,
Spencer Rattler ever plays, he had him for 2 years.
yeah, it's exactly like he's produced like four starting quarterbacks in the league,
Three number one overall picks,
and that's crazy.
3 Heisman winners.
That's also crazy.
It's all up to Miller Moss now, huh?
Yeah, they
Miller
kinda,
Moss. Miller Moss, quarterback for the.
Who did they? USC lost to somebody today.
No, they won. I think they came back and won.
Oh, they did beat Wisconsin. Okay.
They were down. No, I was looking at work and they were like down 21 like to 7, and when I got to my parents' house, it was like 38 to something.
They won 38-21.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Great. They play Minnesota next week too. Great. I think it's still throwing me off that they're in the Big Ten.
It was 21-7 in the second quarter.
Like,
21-10. It was 21-10 at halftime.
Like, it is so weird seeing USC play Penn State.
No, I don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't like this. Rutgers comes to USC at the end of the month.
At least you know the Big 12 ones make sense a little bit.
I feel like
The SEC one makes sense, like Oklahoma and Texas, and the SEC isn't awful.
no, like I think those make sense because they're like
Especially
powerhouses.
like Arkansas used to be in the Big 8 back in the day.
Yeah, I just feel like these West Coast teams should have joined the Big 12 instead of the Big 10.
No, 100%.
And like if we want to dissolve the Pac-12, you should have just all moved to the Big 12.
That would have been way better.
Because now you're getting like Rutgers coming to California and then Washington going to Rutgers.
You know, that should have happened in Texas. It should have just been when it should have happened. The initial one, when Texas and Oklahoma were going to join the Pac-12.
Yeah.
That would have been sick.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Texas versus USC.
But it's like, why do we have this and then also Cal and Stanford and the ACC on the other side of the country? Right. And it's like, this is bad for football, but it's even worse for every other sport.
No, I realize basketball is going to be weird.
Basketball is going to get fucking... It's going to be strange to, like... Having, like, again, it's like Washington's men's basketball team playing Rutgers' men's basketball team. We're going to get shit like that. I'm just going to...
Maryland versus Oregon in basketball.
Washington...
Unconference.
Basketball. Washington Huskies men's basketball. Is there a schedule out?
Then we could have got Bronny in the Big Ten.
They play, like... Okay, this doesn't get that... Oh, December 29th, they play the New Jersey Institute of Technology. Oh, and then they play... The January 2nd, they play Maryland. Then they play Illinois. Then they play Michigan State and Michigan. That makes sense. Then they play Purdue. Ohio State. Penn State. So, okay, just... In the span of 5 days, they go from Ohio to Pennsylvania, back to Washington, and then to Iowa.
That's insane.
From February 12th to the February 22nd. They should just not do this. Like, this
Arizona's beating Utah right now.
Ooh.
Oh, Utah just got a pick. Never mind. Rewind it. Arizona just got a pick. I can't. These uniforms are fucking throwing me off.
All right. I want to end this episode, but I want to do a quick segment that I want to upload afterwards called "Would You Rather" with Andy Dalton. We can pick other quarterbacks too, because I feel like we go through Andy Dalton. That could be pretty quick.
Hit me with it.
But all right, thanks for this episode. We'll see you next week. We'll also watch the next video we're about to record.